When I was 15, my mum went to hospital for depression. Our family life was thrown into chaos. When she came home, she had been well cared for by the doctors, but she wasn't totally great. She went and saw a naturopath, and from there I just saw so many changes. She came off her medication prescribed by the doctor, and she's soared ever since. And I think maybe that was when I decided I wanted to be a naturopath, to try and be able to be that type of person, to influence somebody's life and their family's life positively. I'm actually impatient, and I like to have results sooner rather than later. I don't like waiting around for months and weeks even for responses to occur. And I'm not really one for strict detox or dietary regimes, which is why when I introduced the indigo to my office, the results were phenomenal. Nearly 80–90% were noticed a response after just one session, and it just keeps building from there. So it's because I love the wow factor that I love this type of technology, and I just simply love what I do. My younger brother is a really big inspiration for me. He did have an intellectual disability, and the doctors said that he would never talk. And my mum was a little bit different, and she thought outside the square. So I was actually brought up doing all sorts of what would be now called as weird or wonderful types of things and regimes that we wanted to help him and his development. And he's now still my hero, and he does talk, and he did defy the medical profession by mum doing all these weird and wonderful natural alternatives. And so I think when I came across the indigo, it wasn't all that weird and wonderful to me. It just made sense. Find out what the body needs on that energetic level and give those vibrations to help the body do what we know that it does best. I think that my philosophy to life is probably to have as much fun as possible. I definitely agree with work and life balance. I know that family and other things can come in and take that higher rung of priority, but without having ourselves vibrating at the most healthy that we can possibly be, to wake up not tired, to be able to digest food properly and have the energy from that, and not be suffering with immune issues or mental emotional issues or all of those things that can actually have quite a detrimental effect on our quality of life. I love being able to socialise. I have hobbies which are public speaking, and I love sport and recreation, and I never say no to having a wine with my friends. And I at times can take having vibrant health for granted, except that I have so many people who come through my clinic who really teach me, because they can explain what it's like to be really not well. You know, anything from mild lethargy to very chronic fatigue, from annoying recurrent infections, cold sores, coughs, colds, to autoimmune issues that have been diagnosed from a doctor. And a lot of people have actually been treated quite adequately from their doctor's perspective or from the medical perspective, but they're not feeling great. You know, they feel really not okay, and they know that there's more there. The type of therapy that I use doesn't mean that we have to shut the door on the medical profession. It actually works so well together. Nobody has to stop or start any medicine regime, and it's able to help the body just do its best. It's a little bit like when you're learning to ride a bike for the first time, and you've got the wobbles, and eventually you get the training wheels off and you've got the wobbles for a little while, but then you've got balance. And that's what I see the clients that I have achieve, and then they achieve it on their own. They're not even dependent on me to stay there. They're able to have their body at their best, and when they do get stressed or they do feel unwell, then they give me a call and we do another tune-up, and it really, really helps. Well, I grew up on Renmark. I was born and bred right near the river. Absolutely love the river, and would love nowhere else better to grow up. And what I feel I'm really lucky with is that I have the essence of a country town here in Adelaide. As we all know, it is a big country town. And when I grew up, I totally took health for granted. I wasn't actually someone who suffered with a lot of health issues, and I just got on and had a lot to do with life. Lots of basketball, volleyball, netball, ballet, water skiing, swimming, all those wonderful things that we love to do. And when I reflect back to my upbringing and my childhood, everybody wants to be able to have the ability to do all those fun things at the drop of a hat. And if we're suffering, and sometimes it's silent suffering, I realise, whether it is to do with feeling less than great mentally, emotionally, or actual physical discomfort, it's much harder to be able to enjoy birthdays, anniversaries, days out, shopping. If we are having discomfort in our body, we're feeling unwell, we're feeling stressed. The most common response that I get from people when they talk about the indigo is that they love that their body is doing what they want it to do without having to take a tablet. There is the more energy. So many people say to me, "Oh, I have energy back." It's such a great feeling. A lot of us are waking up in the morning still not overly refreshed, and then we manage through the day. And when the body is struggling like that, slowly, it can really add up. And then bang, we feel like we get a health complaint when really it's been building for quite some time. Common things that I work with is digestive issues, reflux, irritable bowel, constipation, diarrhea, or anything in between that. I see a lot of hormonal symptoms, anything from period pain, which is every month, the symptoms associated with PMS, which are not always comfortable, especially not for the other people in the household. There's menopausal issues, immune system. It's not that I just see people who have what they might call a weak or under-functioning immune system where they get lots of coughs or colds or infections, but I also see chronic fatigue, autoimmunity, where we might have tried a gamut of things. A lot to do with the medical profession because we know that they are great, and maybe tried every health supplement that might be on the market claiming to give us that vitality and that wellness that we're looking for. The indigo is able to hone in far more specifically. It's able to measure the response to all these healing frequencies, which might give us an idea as to which part of the body is actually struggling. We might guess that it's liver, but it might in fact be kidney or thyroid or all of the above actually. And by staying seated comfortably in the chair, it's really not a hard episode to go through. It's really a comfortable experience to go through, to stay with me and be connected to the computer. I get to explain and analyse all of the results energetically and what they might mean and what lifestyle changes is likely to be best for you to get that state of feeling your absolute best.